Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making a high protein soup recipe with the slow cooker. So I don't use the slow cooker enough, and I thought this week it'd be really nice to have a little bit of a shortcut in the kitchen. So I am making a slow cooker cheeseburger soup, and this is going to have about 30 grams of protein, and it's absolutely delicious. So if you enjoy this video, please feel free to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And let's go ahead and show you how I'm going to make this delicious high protein soup. Okay, so I have here all of the ingredients that we're going to need for this slow cooker cheeseburger soup. So let me just go through all of them and then I will show you the directions. And this recipe is actually coming from themagicalslowcooker.com. So I will share that recipe, and then I've made some modifications to make it more macro friendly and just make it what I need. So you can check out her recipe and then you can see mine and figure out what's going to work best for you. So for the cheeseburger component, I'm using this extra lean ground beef. This is 96% lean and 4% fat, and that is 150 calories per serving and 25 grams of protein. If you want to use a different ratio of fat for your meat, that is totally fine, but it will impact the total macros. And then as I've mentioned before, I really like to try and get around 30 grams of protein with each meal. So I've kind of engineered this recipe to hit those 30 grams of protein. So in addition to the meat, I'm going to be adding 4 ounces of grilled chicken. And if you see it's condensing a bit, that's because this is frozen. This is the Tyson grilled and ready chicken. For the vegetable components, I'm going to be adding chopped onion. This is about half an onion. And then I have a couple of ounces of diced up carrots that I'm going to be adding. Now, the recipe did not call for bell peppers, but I didn't have quite enough carrots, and I did have just a little bit of bell peppers in the freezer. So I took those out, and I think it's going to work just fine with this recipe. And then the final vegetable, I will be adding some diced up potatoes. For the base of the soup, I'm going to be using the Simply Nature organic beef broth. And this is going to bring some really great flavor and enhance the beefiness of it all. I will also be using the onion salt and probably just some regular salt and pepper as well, but took out the onion salt so you can see it. That's from Trader Joe's. So one of the ways we're going to make this soup creamier is through cheese. So we're going to go ahead and get it going with the vegetables and the meat, and then later on we'll come back and we're going to add 8 ounces of this reduced fat cream cheese. And then we're also going to add all 8 ounces of this reduced fat mozzarella cheese. So we're going to add that in several hours, but I wanted to show you everything in the recipe all at once. So most of these ingredients we're just going to be able to add straight to the slow cooker, but first we need to brown up the ground beef. So I'm going to get started with that. Okay, so the first step is we're going to go ahead and start breaking down this ground beef that I've got into the pan. So I'm going to use this handy dandy masher and just start mashing. So the next thing I'm going to do is just add some salt and pepper and let this do its thing. So it looks like the beef is cooking up nicely, so I'm just going to give it a stir. And then while the beef is finishing cooking up, I think we can go ahead and get our other ingredients in here. I've set the slow cooker to high. The recipe says low for 8 hours, and that is too slow even for me. So I'm going to do high on 3 hours, add the cheeses, and then do another hour. And then we can see where we are and add more time if we need it. Okay, so we can see that the meat is browning up nicely and it is looking good. So I'm probably going to turn this off and add it to the slow cooker too, because obviously if there's a teeny bit of pink, I am not too worried about it because it's going to be cooking for another 4 hours. So yeah, this looks good. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. I'm going to go ahead and add the meat into the slow cooker as well. Very good. And then I have my extra 4 ounces of chicken to boost the protein, so I'll put that in there. All right, so I really love spices, and I've decided that onion salt is not enough, so we're going to do a couple of other ones. I'll show you each one. So this is the onion salt. How much? You could say a teaspoon or 2 of each, but I'm just going to do it to my heart's content, so I encourage you to do the same. Now we're going to add some garlic powder. Okay, next we're going to add some parsley flakes. You could add oregano if you have it. I don't, so I'm going to use this instead. And then finally, the recipe does not call for this, but I feel like smoked paprika just really brings a nice smokiness and sort of a depth of flavor to everything. So I probably won't go as heavy on this, but definitely want to add some in here. Okay, so all that's left is I need to add in this whole container of beef broth, and then we're going to stir it up, and then we're going to let it sit for 3 hours. All right, now we're just going to mix it all up. Make sure everything is well incorporated. Okay, so I'm just going to pop the lid back on, and now we're going to set a timer for 3 hours, and we will come back and see how it's looking. And as I mentioned, we'll add the cheese, the cream cheese, and the mozzarella cheese to this recipe then, and that way we can add the creaminess to it. And if I haven't said it already, this recipe is going to make 8 servings. So it will be 8 servings, and it is about 30 grams of protein, and I will show you the macros at the end. All right, it has been 3 hours exactly. I have not touched it. I have not opened it, so let's go ahead and see how it's looking. Ooh, I think that's looking pretty good. Definitely seems like it has been cooking down really well. I can see some nice color in there. And now we are going to go ahead and add our cream cheese and our mozzarella cheese. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn it on low and let it sit for another hour, and we can see how it's doing after that. So I've attempted to cube up the cream cheese to make it a little bit easier for it to integrate. I'm just going to give that another stir. Okay, so you can already tell it's starting to change colors. I'm going to go ahead and put this on low and give it an hour and give it a chance to disintegrate and get all delicious and creamy. Before I do that, I'm going to add a little extra garlic because we love garlic. As promised, here are the macros for the slow cooker cheeseburger soup, and this is the website that had the original version. I've made quite a few tweaks to get it to the macros that I'm looking for. So this makes 8 servings. The calories are 296 per each of those servings. It's 11 grams of fat, about 19 grams of carbs, and you'll see there 30.5 grams of protein. So we hit that. And then this is a detailed look of all of the ingredients that I've added. Some of these I rounded or kind of changed based on what I had available. So as long as you're close, I think you'll be in good shape. But you see the cream cheese, the beef, carrots, the mozzarella, potatoes, bell pepper, onion, chicken, and beef broth. So this will be a great, easy weeknight meal that has about 30 grams of protein. Okay, so it has been 3 hours on high, then we added the cheese, and then after only about 30 minutes on low, it was already starting to look really good. So let me get in here and mix it up for you. I think it's looking delicious. So it's definitely done. And I'm going to scoop a little bit here for my taste tester. Ooh. Looks good. All right, taste tester, what do you think of the slow cooker cheeseburger soup?
Give it a go. Delicious.
Great. All right, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you in the next one.